The day would begin with the traditional inaugural ceremony on the steps of the U.S. Capitol, symbolizing the peaceful transfer of power. Trump, known for his flair for spectacle, would likely use the occasion to emphasize themes of America First, national strength, and a return to policies he championed during his first term. His inaugural address could include sharp criticism of the Biden administration, a pledge to undo perceived overreach, and an outline of his administration's immediate goals. The event would likely draw enthusiastic supporters, Republican allies, and dignitaries. However, given the polarizing nature of Trump's presidency, large-scale protests might also occur, reflecting the continued divisions in American society. One of Trump's first actions on January 20 would likely involve a series of executive orders aimed at reversing key policies implemented by President Biden. Trump would likely take immediate steps to reinstate stricter immigration controls, including measures to enhance border security, revive the Remain in Mexico policy, and resume construction of the border wall. Trump has long criticized environmental regulations as burdensome to the energy industry. On day one, he might issue orders to roll back Biden-era climate initiatives, reopen pipelines like Keystone XL, and promote U.S. energy independence through fossil fuel production. Trump may target COVID-19 related mandates, including vaccine requirements for federal employees, and could initiate actions to reform or dismantle parts of the Affordable Care Act, returning to his previous goal of reducing federal involvement in healthcare. Trump could swiftly reorient U.S. foreign policy by revisiting trade agreements, withdrawing from international accords he views as unfavorable, or reasserting his America First stance in defense and diplomacy. A return to the presidency would likely see Trump doubling down on his promise to combat what he describes as the deep state. On day one, Trump may announce sweeping removals of federal officials he perceives as political opponents, particularly in agencies like the FBI, DOJ, and intelligence community. His administration might prioritize hiring individuals aligned with his vision, proposals to decentralize federal agencies, or reduce their size could be announced, aligning with his goal to diminish what he calls bureaucratic overreach. Trump would likely emphasize his commitment to boosting the economy, which he sees as central to his legacy. Day one actions might include tax cut, announcing plans to extend or expand tax cuts for individuals and businesses, issuing orders to roll back Biden-era regulations in sectors like finance, agriculture, and technology. Trump could propose immediate steps to address inflation, such as initiatives to strengthen domestic manufacturing and reduce dependence on foreign imports. In addition to setting policy direction, Trump might announce key appointments to signal his priorities. This could include nominating individuals for cabinet positions who align with his agenda, such as proponents of stricter immigration enforcement, deregulatory policies, and conservative judicial appointments. Trump's first day in office would likely involve extensive communication to rally his base and outline his vision. In a televised address, social media posts, and public appearances, he would seek to portray his presidency as a fresh start for America. He might use the occasion to call out political opponents and media organizations, framing his administration as a defender of ordinary Americans against entrenched elites. Given the contentious nature of Trump's leadership, his return to the presidency would provoke significant reactions across the political spectrum. While his supporters would celebrate, His return, opponents might organize protests and advocacy campaigns. The contrast between jubilant rallies and vocal opposition could underscore the deep polarization within the country. January 20, 2025, under a Trump presidency, would likely be a dramatic and action-packed day, characterized by bold moves and a determination to reassert his political vision. Trump's actions on day one would aim to reverse Biden administration policies, solidify his base, and set the stage for a term focused on his core priorities: strong borders, economic growth, national security, and a reshaped federal government. While the specifics of his presidency's return would depend on the political landscape and circumstances of his re-election, one thing is certain: Trump's first day back in office would capture the nation's attention and set the tone for another transformative chapter in American politics.